they begin to accuse people who are not thought of as witches, men, children, the upper classes in the community, ministers. Once that happens, there's real resistance to their, what they called spectral sight at the time.
Rumors began to circulate that the wives of Reverend Increase Mather and Governor Phipps were about to be accused of witchcraft. This time, the girls had gone too far. Governor Phipps dissolved the Court of Oyer and Terminer on October 29th and moved the cases to a superior court in late November. Spectral evidence, which had damned all of the witch hunts victims in the past, was not allowed, due in part to Increase Mather, the father of Cotton Mather. He wrote,
"It were better that 10 suspected witches should escape than that 1 innocent person should be condemned."
As a result, 49 of the 52 remaining prisoners were acquitted and released from prison. 3 remained there until the spring of 1693. Tituba was sold back into slavery to pay for her expenses. 5 years passed before the Salem community began to recognize its grievous mistakes. On January 16, 1697, a day of public fasting was held at Salem to ask God's forgiveness for past sins. Judge Samuel Sewell and the 12 jurors who had condemned all of the alleged witches to death signed a petition, a public show of repentance. In 1702, a modest inquiry into the nature of witchcraft was published by Reverend John Hale. The book includes one of the most famous and poignant apologies for the trials.
Such was the darkness of that day, the tortures and lamentations of the afflicted, and the power of former precedents, that we walked in clouds and could not see our way.
In 1706, Ann Putnam Jr., one of the most vocal of the accusing girls, faced her peers in the church at Salem Village. Now 26, Anne blamed the devil for having deluded her and causing her to take innocent lives. She was the only accuser ever to apologize for her actions. In 1711, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts reversed the verdicts on 22 of the 31 people convicted of witchcraft, exonerating them and restoring their civil rights. The state paid 600 British pounds in restitution to the survivors of the trials and their families. It would not be until 1957 that the guilty sentence on the remaining 9 people was reversed. Exoneration and public apology does not erase the hysteria or the question, why did the girls claim that witches afflicted them? Were they acting, or did they genuinely believe what they were saying? For the last 250 years, the predominant opinion has been that the girls were making it all up.
They were doing what they were doing for sport, that this was a way for these girls who grew up in a very strict society. They were young women who were sort of on the bottom of the social scale for a while, gained attention for themselves, made themselves the focus of the community, actually wielded tremendous power, and had a great deal of fun doing it.
Since the 1960s, there are new schools of thought.
My sense is that most of them genuinely believed they were possessed. And when they went about accusing people, they tended to accuse people that already, at least according to their parents, were people who had a reputation for witchcraft in the community.
Another theory is that some members of Salem Village may have stood to profit by accusing their neighbors of witchcraft.
The conviction that this crime of witchcraft brings with it isn't just simply your personal death, your own personal demise. It also was the demise of your family fortune, because as a convicted felon, as a capital offender, your property then becomes the property of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's forfeit, and then it is sold at public auction.
We will never know what was in the minds of the afflicted girls and the people of Salem, but the events had a profound impact on our notions of justice in America.
We never again assume that people are guilty until proven innocent. The American system develops with the belief that people are innocent until proven guilty. And that change that takes place, that divergence from the old English common law theory, takes place after the Salem witchcraft episode.
The Salem witch trials have left their mark on American history, denoting a time when fear and hysteria replaced reason and good judgment. It wouldn't be the last time that America or the world would be caught up in the nightmare of a witch hunt, where one group is vilified and persecuted to allay the irrational fears of another. The lesson is one that seems doomed to be repeated, as we discover in Search of History.